plastic surgery was the Botox was too much. It's April 26, 2024. Once again, April 26, 2024. Yeah, I'm gonna write another work paper. I promise you guys, I'm gonna write another work paper today, and I'm gonna have it published on script.com and my blog site, www.shawndexterjohn.wordpress.com. I'm also going to post it on my LinkedIn account. I'm also going to post it on my Twitter account. Hopefully, I'm not going to have to redact it this time around, or eventually. But anyway, I'm also going to store it on my Facebook account in my document files. My Facebook account, you can see my documents and photo files and as GPJ files, and I'm pretty sure I'm also going to get an opportunity. I'll have the time to also yeah, it automatically also posts on my Instagram account, so that's as JPG files, and I do convert the PDF file into a JPG. When I do convert the WordPress, not the WordPress, but when I do convert the Word file into a PDF file, and then eventually I get to the point of splitting it and converting each page into JPG files. Okay, so I'm gonna have to re-articulate this again. So when I do write my work papers and my work reports, I write them in Word documents, okay, or word processor within word processor documents, and then I do PDF under the files, and then I do split the files into separate PDF files, pages, separate PDF pages, and then I convert the PDF pages into separate JPG files and pages, essentially pages themselves, separate pages, JPG pages. And so on a daily basis, I publish and store them on LinkedIn, script.com. When I speak of script.com, I'm speaking of scribd.com, scribd.com, and my name, you can find my name, Shawn Dexter John, so you will be able to see over 350, almost 350 publications of work papers and work reports and such, and a few documents. So I might have said over 350. It might be over 350 already, but I'm pretty sure it's approaching 350 or past 350. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. So some of the folks are saying, why does he look like Kobe Bryant sometimes? I explained why. Okay, but anyway, I did create the avatar, and my job was to be able to sell to him competently and correctly that I am his father in heaven. And I'm pretty sure that he's completely conclusive that I am. Okay, guys, so this is so what I just revealed is top secret declassified information, temporarily declassified information. I do look like Kobe Bryant from time to time, even though I'm not 6'7", but I do look like him from time to time. Still at this point, because I created his avatar, his 6'7" avatar in heaven, his human body in heaven. I designed it and everything, so I designed the facial features and everything to look like mine at times, so that when I do brief him finally, he will believe that I am who I am, that I am Jesus Christ, that I am God, and that I am his father in heaven, his biological father in heaven. He's one of my royal sons in heaven. The son of Vanessa Bryant. He's literally a son in heaven. So he's a firstborn son in heaven with me. Okay, so once again, I'm going to have to re-articulate this for you guys. I do look like Kobe Bryant at times. I did create his human avatar, his human body, while I was in heaven. When I left the planet in the 1960s as Du Bois, I had about a 15 to, I would say about a 17-year break, and I wrote the narrative for my lifetime as Shawn Dexter John and Khaled Hassan, and I wrote the narrative points. I wrote the narrative, and those of my angels and our royal children, and Kobe Bryant. I created his human avatar. I designed it. I designed the similar facial features. Yes, he is the firstborn son of me and Vanessa Bryant, a chief angel, a chief wife of mine. I am Jesus Christ in heaven. I am Jesus Christ everywhere, but in heaven, she's one of my chief wives. Kobe Bryant is our firstborn son together. And sometimes that's how things work when we do our dream into this world and we are on a work assignment. So we look totally different in heaven for the most part, but we do have some of our facial features regarding what we look like in the blue realm, the second dimension. Sometimes they transfer to this particular life when dreaming into this lower dimension and so forth. So the eyes might look similar, or just maybe the nose, or maybe just the lip, the upper lip or the lower lip, or even this and this and that. So we don't exactly look the same in heaven at all. Sometimes we don't look anything like what we look like in heaven, in the second dimension specifically. I'm originally from the third dimension, so I have no facial features or any of that. We are, as you can see in the movie Artificial Intelligence, that's the higher universe, and the third dimension and upwards is the higher universe, and so on. But yeah. So I have 3 bodies at all times, at most times. When I'm dreaming into Earth, I am comatose and dreaming into my blue being body, which is dreaming into my human body here on Earth. When I'm dreaming into Earth on work assignment, when I'm auditing my planet, governing in the field, meaning simply being on the planet. That's the field for me. It has nothing to do with being outside a corporate office. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make sure that you guys can. Yes, so my next work paper, what I'm going to write on today, and what I'm going to have also today is going to be our case and our decision, our initial case and now our decision, in referencing the Central Intelligence Agency and INTERPOL, our decision to enable the election of the first commissioner of the Union of the Americas in 2049, a female individual of Indo-Caribbean and African descent. Okay, so this particular individual, she will be a female adult naturally in mid-age, and she'll be a middle-aged woman. I'm pretty sure of it, and she's going to be of Indo-Caribbean and African descent, a slight African descent. Okay, so she's going to be the first commissioner of the Union of the Americas. It's not going to be called the president. She'll be called the first commissioner of the Union of the Americas. Certain titles, she might be the president of this caucus or this and that, but she's certainly not going to be president of the Union of the Americas. There's not going to be any president of the Union of the Americas. We don't want to overconvolute the term usage throughout the world. So the continental unions will maintain the head executive office or the chief executive office as commissioner. So the commissioner will be the official title of the chief executive officer of each of the 5 continental unions that we do have planned. Okay, guys? So I'm going to have to explain this a bit better. I'm going to have to extend this monologue, this video recording, to explain a bit more.
Florida, I was at a park in Matheson Hammock, and then there was a gator that came out like that. I remember a groundskeeper came out with a big orange cone, and he just put it by the gator like this. Like the caution? Like nature had spooked. And stay with us.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to explain this again. The first commissioner, the inaugural commissioner, the inaugural chief executive officer of the Union of the Americas, which will be established in 2049. It's not gonna occur anytime soon. We're gonna have the EAA soon, and we're gonna have the General Assembly of the Americas soon, and we're gonna have the Supreme Tribunal of the Americas soon. But the official Union of the Americas, it will be established and nominalized in 2049. Okay, and the first inaugural commissioner of the Union of the Americas will be a woman. She will be middle-aged, and she will be Indo-Caribbean, of Africa, slight African descent, or some African descent, and an American citizen, a person who lives in America, in the United States of America, and went to school in the United States of America. And Howard University will be one of her she'll be an alumni of Howard University, I'm pretty sure. So we have this all negotiated by the member states of the Organization of American States for the most part. We have spoken with Howard University, well, certain executives of Howard University, or certain affiliates of Howard University. And we have spoken with other university systems in the hemisphere. We have spoken to civil society and so forth, and we've spoken to the federal government of the United States and so forth. And meaning in representation of the United States of America as one member state of the Organization of American States. So the Union of the Americas, the first inaugural commissioner of the Union of the Americas, will be a female individual of Indo-Caribbean identity, of some African descent, but an American citizen. And yeah, so what else am I going to have to say on this particular matter? We are going to have 5 continental unions all throughout the world, and each will be led by one commissioner. So we're not going to say president, but there's going to be one commissioner. Well, the African Union itself, there's a chairperson of the Commission of the African Union. That does not have to alter, but it might slightly alter to commissioner. But if it does not, that's okay enough. But there are going to be 5 commissioners on the UN Security Council of the world government of the world government. So in 2044, I'm going to be the first, meaning the inaugural world president, meaning the president and commissioner of the United Nations world government. And I'm going to be elected by the General Assembly, and my name will be Khalid Sundiata Hassan, and so forth. Okay, but yeah, there will be 5 seats on the UN Security Council by then, and it's still going to be called the UN Security Council or the Security Council of the World Government, but it's still officially going to be identified as the UN Security Council, just as the UN General Assembly will still be officially identified as the UN General Assembly, aside the colloquial term, which will be popularized, world government. But anyway, there will be only 5 seats, 5 members on the UN Security Council upon the reformation of world government in about 30-40 years or so. So we have a long ways to go before we get to 5 continental unions, but when we get there, there are going to be 5 commissioners on the UN Security Council in representation of one of the respective continental union, and that's better for peace. I'm pretty sure it's a bit more effective in consulting peace, in consulting pacifism. It's less convoluted. It's a bit more organized. It's a bit more competent. It's a bit more efficient, and it's a bit more commendable to the complexities of the world government that we are planning. Okay, so yes, we are going to have we are certainly going to have an interfaith council, and it's going to be more so consultant, or it's going to be more so advisory. It will be able to pass and enact resolutions, which will be, I guess, more so resolutionary, but certainly advisory instead of statutory or statute based, or resolution or legislative resolution based. Okay, but essentially it's still going to be effective. The Interfaith Council, it will be fundamental to the world government. It'll be one of the fundamental and core branches or sectors or entities of the world government of the United Nations. and it will be formed in 2044 at the instance of the Declaration of World Government and the passing and the signing and ratification of the official ratification of the Constitution of the world in association, in correspondence with the United Nations World Government. Okay, so all religions and all religious, I guess each religion will be equally represented. Each major religion will be, for the most part, equitably represented within the Interfaith Council, and atheists and agnostic groups and animists and untraditional, less traditional religious groups will be also represented, and there will be equitable standards and procedures which will allow all communities all throughout the world to be able to participate in the development and writings and authoring of white papers from from the Interfaith Council, and they'll also be able to pass advisory resolutions, and they'll be able to articulate perspective and prerogatives and protocols, even protocols. The Interfaith Council will be able to get to the point of having protocols naturally, internal protocols and corresponsive protocols, in relating to the member states of the world government, the UN world government, and in interacting with other agencies and councils and organs of the world government of the United Nations when that time comes. So there will be intragovernmental, intragovernmental relations and intergovernmental relations and so forth. Okay, so the world government is going to be unitary, even though there are going to be a lot of several, a spectrum of councils and other entities, organs within the world government, and they're going to be affiliates within the system of the United Nations, semi-independent of the world government. It's going to be unitary, and it's going to be concise, and its approach is going to be precise in its articulation of constitutional law and principle and policies and this and that. It's going to be a world government. It's going to be conventional as government, but it's going to be unconventional in being inherently unconventional. It's just going to be unconventional in those terms. It's going to be the first time that we have a world government. The United Nations has been semi-governmental for a while, from the get-go, actually. And that was always the intent. The intent was always to get to the point of official world government. We've been training to get to this particular point. But this is the first time we've actually gotten to the point of nominalizing international treaty and international law as supreme and mandate. So that's what's going to happen with the world government when it gets established in 2044. So we have a lot of work to do. And we have a lot of things to ponder on, and we have a lot of negotiations, and we have a lot of consulting to get done. We're going to pull the population, the general publics, or the populations of every member state of the United Nations, and we're going to make sure that everyone is briefed on the pending world government. So when the General Assembly gets to the point of electing me, per negotiation, security order, and emergency order negotiations, and the world will naturally consent to it based on their interests. We have already briefed and consulted and negotiated with the member states of the United Nations, the member governments themselves, but we are going to get to the point of doing so a bit more popularly in relating with the populations.
Because it's about accountability.
This week, the Heisman Trust cited the NCAA's recent policy change, allowing players to profit from their name, image, and likeness in its decision to reinstate.
So as you can see, it's April 26, 2024. Okay, guys, I'm pretty sure this segment of the Heisman Trophy, our former winner, Reggie Bush, I'm pretty sure that this aired today on April 26, 2024. So that's why I show CBS News, because we can document that I'm not lying about what I'm